we are a quarter of way into the season, which means all teams have played around 21, 22 games, and it's like 25% of the season, right? So I thought this would be a good time to go back and look at our power rankings and create new power rankings if possible. So what I'll do is, so that we don't jumble up a lot of teams, we probably will have 4 tiers, okay? Top tier, playoff contenders, play-in contenders, and teams that are tanking for Wembanyama. So we have 4 tiers. We'll do the Eastern Conference first, and we'll see if we need to do a 2-part, and we'll do the Western Conference next week if it takes a lot of time, right? So let's get started. If you had to pick 2 teams which are like a top tier team, which have separated themselves from the rest of the teams, would that be Celtics and the Bucks, or do you put anyone else in there?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's all East for me. Celtics and the Bucks. Whoever wins it takes it right now. It's almost too easy.
Celtics have... would you put the Celtics above the Bucks at this moment?
Nah, I mean, maybe regular season, but I think come playoff time, no, that'll be tough. It's very close though. It's not a lot in it, but it's just the Giannis factor.
Yeah, I mean, this team beat the Bucks last season, but of course Chris Middleton was missing. Chris Middleton just came back from an injury. He didn't look that awesome in the first game against the Lakers. The fumble at the end also giving away the game, kind of.
Yeah.
Right. Celtics have just lost 5 games this season, by the way. 3 of those losses have come in overtime. 2 of those losses were against Chicago Bulls. So they pretty much ran over every other team that has come in their way, right? Tatum, I think, has just elevated himself to another level. Yes. He's definitely my contender for MVP right now. Giannis, after that incident in Philadelphia with the ladder, he's been on a tear after that.
Yeah.
His points in the last 6 games, 37, 7 and 6, 36, 11 and 7, 39, 8 and 6, 30, 11 and 4, 37, 13 and 7, 47 and 5. This guy is unstoppable at the moment, and I think he just had one bad game and then he shows what he's capable of. I think I agree with you. I think the Celtics and Bucks have just separated themselves from the rest of the pack, and I think they are clearly... I think they are 2 tiers above the next bunch of teams.
Yeah, there's nobody close. It's sad. It's in the West, first of all, it's so topsy-turvy. And then whenever there's some sort of piece to the rankings, it's the same old again, right? The Pelicans, for some reason, are second, but the Phoenix Suns are right at the top. You would expect Denver to float up at some point. Memphis should push their way up, and then Golden State will kind of course correct and finish some. So this broadly, I think this is the top 4. And then you have whatever at the other end, right? I don't see any of these teams as presently constructed taking on either the Bucks or the Celtics. So for me, it's those 2. And Tatum, by the way, today he topped the MVP odds for the first time this season.
Yeah, it deserves, because last season we were talking about how Jokic is still an MVP contender when his team was not so good. Luka's not even in the playoff. He's in 10th spot right now?
10th. Yeah.
Why is that question not coming up now? It will eventually come up, I think. I think Tatum, I think Booker deserves a mention as well, because the way he's playing.
Sure.
And probably Steph Curry, because he's having a historical season yet again. Those would be...
I think if they move up, Fox is going to start at least pushing the top 5. If not, yeah.
True. Yeah, very possible. All right. Sticking to the Eastern Conference, trying to not waver away too much. What is the next tier of teams that you have? If you had to pick 4 as the next playoff teams, right? The 3, 4, 5, 6. Whom would you
in the East? Just in the East?
In the East, yeah. I found it a very difficult exercise, because if you want me to go first, I would put the Sixers in there, just because I think they have the quality.
Sure.
The Cavs, they have the quality. And then I was struggling to pick the next 2. Do I go Hawks? Do I go the Nets? Do I do Raptors? Do I do Heat? I was totally lost when I was trying to do the exercise.
Oh, Heat, you're still considering the Heat.
The reason I'm considering the Heat is because I think they still have that doggedness in them. I don't consider them a good quality team. You saw the way they came back. They had a 2-game series against the Celtics over the last week, right? And both games were close. Jimmy Butler came back for the second game, and then they beat the Celtics. Celtics, one of their 5 losses against the Heat. So, but if I had to pick the 4 teams, it would be Sixers, Cavs. I'd go Nets. I think Nets would still get there because of KD and Kyrie. And the Atlanta Hawks, despite all the troubles that they've been having.
Okay, so Cleveland's easy, and I think Sixers would deserve to be there.
Yeah, Embiid is playing at that level, which put him in an MVP contention last season, right? He's back to playing at that level. And then Harden's returning soon, is what I hear. So they should be good. I think.
Yeah, I think Indiana's overachieving. I don't think they're a top 6 team.
Of course.
So they'll probably slide out. So Cleveland is the easy pick. Philadelphia, out of respect for the squad.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Atlanta, at least until they get to the playoffs. I'm fine with the squad. In the playoffs, it'll be interesting how this two-guard system works in the playoffs. I think it'll be a good thing for them. But let's see. And then their defense, I don't know how that will cope up in the playoffs. Capella, they finally figured out that
can get rebounds.
Yeah, they've discovered Capella's rebounding ability.
Yeah.
Which they always knew, to be honest. When they first got him, all he did was rebound.
Last season was a bad season for Capella. But there have been some troubles in Atlanta, right? Like today you saw Trae Young sit out of the game because of supposed differences with the coach. Now what is all that about?
Too much ball time for DeJounte Murray, I would guess. I mean, if you really want to give some meat for the podcasters to dig into, that's what it would be. So Atlanta, sure. So Cleveland, Philadelphia, Atlanta, we've got to pick one more, right? I don't like picking Brooklyn. I think they've made fools out of us for too long now. So just for the heck of it, I'm going to say Toronto because it's a much more stable team and I can live with them not performing. Brooklyn, I just can't.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I had a tough choice doing that as well. And Raptors, for me, I think are one of the better defensive teams in the league, not just this conference. I think Boston, Milwaukee, Warriors, Phoenix separate themselves, and then I think the Raptors, seeing the way how they played against Luka the other day, seeing the way they defended KD, I'm like, wow, this team, like there's no great player on that team, right? It's Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Siakam. Siakam's probably the star, but he's not the top tier star. And it's still amazing how good this team is. It's fun to watch.
Black Sabonis, man. Siakam's the Black Sabonis. What's not to love? And this is one of those teams that elevates too in the playoffs. Always, every year.
Yeah. They're always they're the team that you don't want to face, right?
Yeah.
So they were in my play-in contenders. So I had Raptors. I had Heat. You can't put Heat below 10. So Heat, Wizards.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm just seeing Beal is playing like the old Beal. He can score. Porzingis has hit some kind of form.
He's fit.
Kuzma has hit some. Kuzma is playing well, and so that was my three teams. And the fourth team, I'd probably go Knicks. I did not want to do this, but I picked the Knicks over the Pacers. Even though the Pacers are sitting high up, I think they'll fall down.
They're below the plains? Wow.
Yeah, I don't think they'll finish in the top 10.
Okay. Maybe.
Knicks, because Brunson is there. Brunson's kind of a cool head. Randall is playing with somewhat the year before, right, where he took the team to the playoffs. He's playing at that level. RJ Barrett is finally hitting some shots. He was terrible from 3 starting of the season. So
no. It's from the starting of last season. He's just now hitting something, anything.
Yeah, so all that given, I think the Knicks might just eke through to the top 10. And
that's fair, but let me just to get this clear. So you're saying the great Halliburton. You're saying Halliburton is not going to finish in the top 10. Halliburton, though, man. Like Magic Johnson, then Halliburton. That Halliburton.
For a reason. I think Indiana would just trade away Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. I don't think they're going to stay for a long time.
Turner for sure.
Yeah, and given all of that, I think the Pacers themselves don't want to finish in the playoff because it's a nothing season for them. Right? They're not getting past the first round, even if they make playoffs.
But what are they doing? Because they could have just tanked straight away if this was their plan. For some reason.
In the East because you have so many bad teams. Unlike in the West, right? Utah took off a big lead and then they had to start losing. And you saw San Antonio now; they lost 11 in a row. They were fourth in the standings a while ago. So
like there are 3 bona fide dog shit teams in the East that you just can't lose to. Like Charlotte, you never know who's going to turn up. First of all,
exactly.
Like Dennis Smith became their primary choice player, and even he went injured. So you don't even know who's going to turn up. Yep. Then of course there's Orlando, who they had like 3 good players to begin with, plus Bol. Now, out of those 3 good players, I think all 3 at some point got injured, backcourt and the wing. Now, bit by bit, they're coming back. Like Suggs is coming back, and Cole Anthony and blah blah. But Banchero is yet to come back, or has he come back? Yeah. Cole Anthony's back.
Couple of games.
Okay.
Cole Anthony's back, and Markel Fultz is back. Remember him?
Yeah. Fultz was the one. Not Banchero. So what an eclectic blend of where are these guys going, and firmly sitting at the bottom. Between them, Detroit and Charlotte, it's an achievement if any player worth anything even steps out on the court.
Yeah.
Everyone who comes in like G League, backup to a backup, like C team, D team, it's insane in the East, right?
I'm actually feeling bad for Orlando. I thought this was a decent team. It's fun to watch Banchero and Bol and
when they play.
Mo Bamba also. So
sure,
it's surprising to see them 15th. I thought they would be somewhere in like 11th, 12th at least. But that's a bad team. Detroit, after the loss of Cade Cunningham, the same thing happened. Like, there's nobody else who can score over there. It's going to be Killian Hayes now. Marvin Bagley is playing now. Remember Marvin Bagley, who was picked over Luka Doncic, his claim to fame. I have no idea what Bogdanovic is doing there. It's such a waste of talent over there in that team. He could be such a good player on a contending team, I would say. So Bogdanovic is wasting it over there. So the three are the bottom three, right?
Someone offered me Bagley for Jason Tatum in Fantasy League as a trade. I'm like,
I think he went by the draft.
He was the guy who drafted. No, he was probably the guy who drafted. We have a draft legend in our league. Man.
So both of us, by the way, we did not talk about the Bulls. Do you think the Bulls are not good enough to make the top 10? I don't think they are because of multiple reasons. One, I think they'll blow it up. I don't think Lavine or DeRozan might be there, or one of them is not going to be there and they'll blow it up. Vucevic has been terrible after his great start of the season, so I don't think he's going to be there for long term either. So I don't see the Bulls making it just because I think they have a different direction to go in.
So that's what I was going to complain about. I don't care where the Bulls are going. I don't care if they make the playoffs or they don't. I drafted Vucevic for a reason in my fantasy team. And for the first 5 games or so, I was smug. Mm-hmm. I am no longer smug. This is gloom. And I don't like it. They should break it up, if nothing else, only for the reason that Vucevic isn't able to contribute to my team. And the team's not doing enough to put Vucevic in a position of success. I think they'll break it up completely. Maybe DeRozan will be retained. I don't know. I think that's tough to imagine even that happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's time to call it quits. They should have just gone for Wemby, broken it up at the start of the season. Given DeRozan and Lavine to the Lakers, something like that.
Oh, to the Lakers.
Get Westbrook, fill seats, get Wemby.
So who were your play-in contenders? If you pick Nets, has to be there, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So Nets and Heat for sure. I'm actually okay putting Indiana in there. I think they'll somehow scrape through. Just about. I'm not even betting on Indiana at this point. I'm betting on the Wizards getting injured one after the other.
Okay.
Because they just have too many. It's Porzingis, it's Beal. You never know with these guys. And then there's the management itself, which halfway through every season they decide, alright, it's okay, screw it.
Yeah.
We pick it up next season. They've been doing this for like 7 years in a row now. So I've got faith in them. So it's Brooklyn, New York. Who do we have? Miami, Indiana, I suppose. So basically, I'm saying the top 10 will remain as it is. I've just reshuffled the order.
I'll take this opportunity to actually take one of our viewers' questions, which was a YouTube comment, and which goes like this: the Pacers were currently sitting 4th when at the point of the comment. They were 4th in the East. First of all, are you guys surprised that the Pacers are 4th? And do you see them falling the way Portland and Utah did in the West?
Hey man, they have Halliburton. What's to be surprised? Have you not heard how good he is? It's what's his first name again? Yeah, whatever. It's Mr. Whatever Halliburton. Who cares? It's him. How can he not be amazing? No, 4th is definitely surprising for sure. Are they going to drop from 4th? Yeah, absolutely. I'm picking them to stay in the top 10. Monish isn't. I think it's a 10-11 flip thing that we're debating. He's picking Washington. I'm betting on on Halliburton, the man, Irvin Magic Halliburton.
Have you been impressed by Benedict Mathurin? He's your rookie of the year so far.
And the quotes. The quotes and the game. His LeBron James quote, that's going to be all time now that he's at that damn shot.
True.
That's pretty insane. Yeah, he's been, but I must say, it's an underwhelming rookie of the year race. The people that you expect to fight are all injured, man. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, Jabari Smith Jr. has done nothing so far to be even considered in the race, right? So
there's always one guy every year. There's that one guy every season who's like, who is this guy?
All through the summer he was he was the favorite.
Yeah, it's good, right? Yeah.
He just doesn't look the guy that they drafted.
Although we've got to see enough of Banchero to even know if the draft order is great and blah blah blah. Guys are just not fit.
I think he plays well. But yeah, I don't know.
But this guy's good too. Jabari was good too. But then what happened?
Yeah. Alright, I think we got our top 10 and the remaining 10 are obviously going to be 15. I'm not going to debate about who's going to finish 11 to 15.
What is the point?
Let's do the same exercise in the West. If you have to pick 2 teams that have separated themselves from the rest, or they will, or they are a different tier than the rest of them, who would you pick?
Yeah, Phoenix is an easy pick. Yeah, easy all season long. I think Denver's going to finish second, come end of season, regular season. So Phoenix and Denver right at the top. Next 4, let me just go through 1 to 6 then. So Phoenix and Denver. Third is a tough one, man. You know what? I think the Warriors will rise up enough to finish third. So they'll probably finish third. I'm comfortable with Memphis at 4. And then I'm picking Clippers and Pelicans to round off the top 6.
Clippers.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. How come?
Yeah, because I'm expecting the others to suck. So if Clippers and Pelicans have to stay in the top 10, right, who needs to drop out? Oh, I've kind of disregarded Memphis, have I? Oh, fuck the Clippers. Okay, so Memphis then. So Phoenix, Denver, the Pelicans, Warriors, Memphis, and
Mavs, Kings.
I'm thinking, do I pick the Kings? Yeah, you know what? I'll take the Kings. So screw the Clippers.
Okay.
So that's my top 6.
Top 6 was the same for me, although probably not in the same order. Suns definitely better than the rest. I think this third year running that they've been contending for the top of the league, right? It's just that one loss in the finals against unstoppable Giannis, and one loss against an unstoppable Luka. Third time lucky, you think, for the Suns?
No, absolutely not. They're going to get their ass whooped at some point in the playoffs. But they got the Kings of the... These guys remind me of those early 2000s Sacramento Kings. Like Mike Bibby, Stojakovic. I was talking about this team the other day. Great team. They've got everything. Size, shooting, defense, rebounding, blah, blah. They do it all. They just can't get it done. They just can't get over the hump. And this is just... It's going to be one of those teams. It's not going to be a Jordan story. They're not going to get over the hump.
I agree with you. I don't think the Suns will go all the way, but I'm really impressed by the way they're performing because...
Absolutely.
Jay Crowder is out. His replacement Cam Johnson is out. So they're pretty much playing with campaign.
It's Booker and campaign. That's what it right. And Ayton's been pretty well.
Ayton's pretty well. And Torrey Craig is starting now and he's performing well. Damian Lee coming on at the clutch and closing out games for them. Who would have thought?
Sidel Curry would have thought.
I'm really impressed with the Suns team. Regular season, of course. Playoffs are a different beast altogether. But regular season, I'm really impressed. I think they'll finish in the top again. Booker is playing at an elite level. I think he's improved year on year. And I think more than Luka Doncic, I'd rate Booker in like number 2 if I had to pick MVP. Giannis, Booker, somewhere there. 2, 3. Something
Booker's phenomenal. But there's no question Luka's a better player. It's just with that ranking, how do you justify, being in the... It's the same thing you would discount against, say, Steph if he finished like in the bottom 3 in the top 10 or whatever, like 8th, 9th, 10th. You're not really going to make a big case for yourself as an MVP. Same with Jokic, same with this guy. So, for sure. Booker's phenomenal. He's the one guy I wouldn't doubt even in the playoffs. It's just the team around him, I'm not too sure. I think Ayton would get bullied in the playoffs by somebody or the other. It's coming.
Chris Paul getting injured.
Ayton, I don't think fully fit if the Lakers somehow wobble their way to the playoffs. And if AD is fit, I don't think Ayton can hold an umbrella to AD. And there's a bunch of them in the West that Ayton just can't handle. Jokic, AD, Cat, even if he's fit, man. It's a big ask of Ayton. So
Cat is a different discussion, I would say. But we'll talk about the Bulls in a moment.
They're not going to be there, so it's a hypothetical discussion.
Well, I had the Suns and the Warriors above the rest. I think the Warriors will just climb their way up. I had Pelicans, of course, they're playing at an amazing level. Nuggets will be there. Grizzlies, definitely. I think that one team that puts in their heart every single game.
Sure.
I also picked the Sacramento Kings. I just think this run is real. I
like the team.
Yeah.
It's a good squad, right? They're not fluking their way to wins. They've got shooting, they've got a good point guard, they've got a big man who can play his role to perfection. They've got all.
All their losses have been close losses. They've not been blown out yet. So I like that part about them. So that means we've eliminated the Mavs to not make the playoffs directly. We've eliminated Clippers. We've eliminated the Portland Trailblazers, who kind of had a decent run at the start of the season.
And Utah, right?
I didn't put Utah even in my top 10. I don't think they'll...
No, it's okay. But right now, the ones in the top...
Right now. Yeah. I actually put the Lakers in my top 10. I think they're rising.
Yeah, I think they'll inch their way, sure. Top 10, I think I can pick. Top 6 is too much. Top 10, yes.
Yeah. So we have the same 4? Trailblazers, Mavs, Lakers, Clippers, whatever order that may be.
So, Trailblazers, Mavs, Lakers, Clippers... No, it's not happening. I think Lakers have a better shot than Timbers.
I agree.
If the Lakers get injured, both of them are sitting out, but it's not like it's an either or. There's no way. Like if the Lakers don't make it, T-Wolves are certainly not going to make it. Utah will probably sneak in then.
Yeah,
I think that's what's going to happen.
for that team as well. I mean, probably the most entertaining team right now to watch. Every single game goes down to the wire.
Sorry, which one? I kind of lost my connection. Yeah.
All right, so I think we have a top 10. And so you think Utah's not going to make it. What about the Timberwolves? I mean, I know Cat suffered an injury and is going to sit out a few months. Gobert had 1 rebound the other day. Now, so we put Utah in that category which we call tanking for Wemby. Do you mean that Utah are going to tank and give their pick to who did they give?
I don't even know. The picks are so confusing now, man. Everyone wants.
Timberwolves are going to tank for Wemby, and that pick is going to Utah. Really?
Yeah, wouldn't that be a sight? I think you know some of those movies where the movie is made to be a serious drama or a thriller, but unintentionally it's just the most hilarious movie you'll ever see. That's kind of how Timberwolves are tanking. They don't quite set out to tank; it just happens. It's just a natural outcome of whatever clusterfuck they have going on in the name of a squad. I told you I was uncomfortable with Gobert in this squad because this Twin Tower thing never fucking works. I've never seen any team make it work. 2 superstars or 2 star caliber all-star players, Twin Towers never works. Right? One guy is like, the Lakers made it work with who? AD, clear star, and then whatever, like JaVale McGee or whoever, right? AD himself, they tried it with Boogie Cousins and AD. That was the last time somebody really went for it. Didn't work. Sabonis Turner, didn't work. It's just a bad idea. So that's tank.
Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, that seems to be working.
Yeah, neither of them are all-star caliber. So that's my point.
He is not yet, but he will be.
So the moment he becomes, there's going to be a problem the season after that. Just watch. So that was a bad idea. That just tank that trade, and then and they gave up a lot too to get go. Might as well have dumped Cat, man. So get a wing player or something. Dump Cat. Then what are you doing? If you really value Gobert, yes.
I think so too.
What a fucking turnaround, by the way. This was Cat's team. They wanted to build around Cat, number 1 draft pick. They gave up pretty much Wiggins and a potential. They could have kept the Warriors from winning a title. They gave Wiggins and the title to the Warriors in return for D'Lo, just to unite, because Cat really wanted to play with this boy. That was a shit move. Anytime you get a player just because. Yeah, they should, right? Together go fuck your friendship in Utah or whatever. And it's such a shit move. You know it's a bad move when you get a player only because your current superstar is friends with him. It's okay if you get a squad player, right? Like Giannis's cousin or Damon Lee or whatever. But if you're going to get a starting primary ball handler and just because he's your superstar's friend, fuck off. I think both of them should get shipped out. Ant is a treasure. I think he's being wasted right now. And he should also hold himself accountable. He's being a sulky fuck right now. He needs to, wake up and start playing because he really is superstar material. MVP for sure in the next 3 seasons if he develops the way he should, right? So they should probably ship out. I don't mind Gobert actually. They should ship out Cat and D'Lo. Yeah, ship out Cat, D'Lo.
Gobert gets a lot of flack for everyone else's fault, right? He's a good defender. He still does his job well. But if the others don't do their job well, then he gets the discredit.
Yeah, you know how pure respect is everything in the NBA. If other players recognize you to be excellent at something, you are excellent at something. You can't really write that script. When Giannis spoke about Wembanyama on some podcast, that clip that floated around, he said he can shoot like KD, block like Gobert.
Yep.
When Giannis says that, it means something. Right? So I have no problem with Gobert. I think they should ship out Cat, ship out D'Lo. That's a squad right there, whatever they get in return, if they do it right. Unless they get Westbrook.
They have to get something in
return. For sure.
All their picks for Gobert. So, first of all, they oversold. I mean, they gave away too much for Gobert.
Oh, wait. So the Wembanyama pick, that's what you were saying. The Wembanyama pick goes to Utah. Wow. Amazing, guys.
Wow. That's a nice twist, wouldn't it?
No, I don't think they're going to get that first pick.
Do you think that now that Cat is out and it'll be just Anthony Edwards and Gobert, do you think the results will improve from
Yes, I was going to say that. Yes, absolutely. It's like Portugal benching Ronaldo. They should, because they play so much better without him. It's the same thing with not D'Lo so much. I think Cat sitting out helps just because then it gives Gobert a clearly defined role to play. I feel like they're a little confused between him and Cat as to who's doing what. Everyone's confused. So that improves them. It's the Ant and Gobert show. It's basically Utah with Ant instead of Donovan Mitchell. I was going to say D'Lo, Donovan Mitchell.
The teams that do not make it, the Utah Jazz for both of us.
Tough.
Already trending the downside.
Yeah, tough. So their only hope is they've got a shot, but it's not entirely in their hands. They should keep their results up, try and get whatever wins they can. One of the LA teams is going to fucking suck because half their squad is going to go injured. I don't know how these squads were built in LA, but both LA teams have houses of glass or a castle of wax in the sun, whichever way you want to pitch it. Kawhi and PG have already missed a ton of games.
Injury AD is now injured.
Fantastic. AD is playing too well. I'm actually nervous as fuck watching the Lakers play because at any moment I think this is too good to be true. I don't want to jinx it, but yeah, we've seen this happen before. AD is playing like a monster. They had MVP chance in Staples today. So one of those LA teams is going to fuck up thanks to injuries. Most probably the Lakers because the Clippers have a deep squad. If that happens, you'd have a shot. If not, nope.
Okay. And the Thunder and Rockets and Spurs, anything worth talking about them?
No. We'll see them at the draft.
Let's stick to AD, okay? And I put out a poll last week which said AD's last 10 games have been amazing. Is it the right time to sell? Sell high on AD. Is that the way to go for the Lakers? Or is that an outrageous thought even, given the way he's playing?
Yeah, so with the Lakers and Lakers fans, let me explain how it works. It's a toxic relationship. It's Stockholm syndrome mixed with abusive love-hate. So whenever AD is bad or he's out injured, you think, gotta sell him. You've got to sell him. Then he comes back, he gives you just a glimpse. You're like, okay, just hold on, let him build up his cash and then we sell him high. Because we get a ton of value. In return, we get picks, we get everything back. Oh my god, Lala, chip in 3 years. And then he plays too good. Like he's playing right now. Do we really want to sell an MVP caliber? Maybe the Lakers figured it out. Maybe the answer is run the offense through AD. LeBron's largely a shooter now. He's shooting like 6 of 8 threes. It's not the 6 that blow my mind, it's the 8. Like LeBron's attempting 8 threes a game. Why? So he's clearly a shooter now, playmaker, all of that. Which begs the question, what the fuck is Westbrook doing in that squad? Mm-hmm. Now you're thinking, whatever, they dump Westbrook, get some shooters, and if you got a squad, you run it through AD, why do you need to trade him? Until AD gets injured and you're like, trade this motherfucker right now. That's kind of how it works. That's the cycle of love and hate between Lakers fans and AD.
Wow, okay, that's a nice explanation. I think it's exactly like that, because AD is playing so well, how can you trade him, right? It's an outrageous thought to even think about it. So I'm with you. Alright, before we leave for the day, any fantasy tip for this week?
No man, I've been absolutely, it's not a good week. I've tried everything under the sun. For some reason, when I have a bad game, people above me have a bad game. When they have a bad game, I have a bad game. And when I score well, they score just a little bit more. So it's not quite working out, but I'm going to stick with my pick from last week. It's still working out. Killian Hayes giving good returns because Cunningham, you know what, I think Cunningham's done for the season. Even if he's up for playing, I think they'll just set him out and tank. So, get Killian Hayes and hold on. He'll give you some easy, cheap points if he's available in free agency.
Match winner during the week against the Dallas Mavs. And that was the only game that was going on that day. So it's like pretty much anyone who follows NBA, like every game, they would have watched that. So he shot himself to some fame. My pick for this week would be Trey Murphy 3. Or the third, or however they call it.
The third. Trey Murphy 3 guy. Sneaker thoi now.
Brandon Ingram is injured, which means this guy gets to play. And this guy is amazing. He's 40% from 3. Good defender, gets his lots of steals and blocks, gets the rebounds, scores around 20 points every game. He's my wildcard pick, or whatever you want to call it. I think he might work out as long as Ingram is sitting out. Jose Alvarado, 38 points today.
I saw.
Yeah, Grand Theft Alvarado, great game for him. Well, that's all on today's episode. As always, great fun chatting with you, and I'll catch you next week.
Alright, man. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.